friends, foes, and other watchers on the internet, and welcome back to another edition of RPGs on Hogwash Gaming. And today we're going to talk about GMing. How do you run a game? What do you need to know in order to run a game really well? Now, once again, I'm going to refer to Don Forgecast as the expert on this, but I'm going to be just giving you the basics. First off, you need to know what system are you using, and how does that system work? There are a lot of differences between Dungeons & Dragons 3 and Dungeons & Dragons 5. So even though you know one, be sure you know the one you're playing, because that's very important. So that's step one. Know what system you're running. Step two is you need to have a story in mind. If you don't have a story for your characters to play through, then it's going to be really choppy. You're not going to have any sense of direction, and it's probably going to end up with a bunch of people being silly because they don't know which way to go. It's your job to give them a direction to go and reward them for it. Thirdly, you need to be running all of the other characters in this world. When a player character walks up to the bar and there's a bartender, the bartender needs to interact with them. Or maybe not. Either way, you're running the world. And I'm not saying that you have to have like the life and death story of each character that isn't being run by a player. We call those NPCs. But you need to have some sort of personality for each person. Fourthly, you need to be able to challenge your players. If moving from point A to point B is just a matter of we go here, that's not much of a game. There's no challenge, no story, no triumph. So it's your job to make sure that moving from point A to point B has its rough patches, so when we get to point B, we know it's worth it. We got there, and we triumphed and failed along the way. And that's the fifth thing. Come up with some contingency plans, because the characters aren't always going to succeed. If my ninja accidentally knocks a tile off of a roof and alerts the whole palace to his presence, then you need to know what happens next, and how can I get to point B now that I'm down here. And lastly, and probably most important, it's your job to make sure that everyone is having a great time. How can you do that? Well, it's paying attention to what your players need, talking with them before and after you play, and seeing what you can do to become a better GM, and to make your playing style match the playing style of your players. It's a challenge, but it's definitely worth it. And once you get it down, you guys are going to have a great time. And with that, I'll see you next time. This is Hogwash, over and out.